Okay, settle in. It's story time. I grew up in Maine, and I would occasionally go on these big, long trips. The state of Maine is big in terms of there's a lot of land, not as many people, more trees than people. Um, is that true everywhere or no? I feel like that should be true everywhere because like you can fit a lot of trees in a little space that you can't fit that many people in. I'm getting totally off topic. Um, anyway, we would drive like all the way up to the Canadian border. We would drive down to New Hampshire. We went all over the state when I was younger. My parents like to go for drives. They like to go for Sunday afternoon drives, Saturday afternoon drives. And usually if you went with them, that meant that you were going to get to stop and get something at McDonald's or an ice cream, or there was always some kind of incentive for going, or a little store or whatever. So one year we went on a little camping trip, like a little overnight trip. We had like this big Suburban. We had a tent, sleeping bags, whatever. I think we had air mattresses and sleeping bags. I'm trying to remember though. It was a while ago. Anyway, this would have been probably early 80s, and I can't remember if this particular one was a camping trip or if this was a day trip, but we drove up to a place which was called Moosehead Lake. Probably some of you are familiar with it. I'm not sure that it gets any more Maine than Moosehead Lake. Anyway, we drove up there and they had this little gift store. I believe it was called, and I don't mean this in any way, shape, or form to be negative, but I believe at the time it was called the Indian store. I don't know if it still is, and that was for obviously Indigenous people, Native Americans in the area ran this store. This store was like this big, beautiful barn type store. From what I remember, this would have been early 80s. I was very young. I remember there just being like candy and fudge and jewelry and crafts and, leather goods and like just all kinds of stuff in this store. Just like that typical 1980s tourist area gift shop kind of thing. And so I was young. I'm going to say it was probably early 80s. I was born in 72. So I'm going to say I might have been like 10. I'm not sure. Anyway, I bought, and I will never forget, these bracelets, and they were 5 for $1, 20 cents a piece. I had these bracelets all through high school. I have 3 of them. I can only find 2 right now. I think my daughter might have one of them, or it might be at the other house, and then I have 2 that are here because I just found a second one this morning. And they were 5 for $1. I've had them forever. I wore them all through high school, always had them on, and not always, but I wore them a lot. So like all my jobs, all my little 80s dresses and everything, I had like a ton of bangle bracelets, and then the jelly bracelets, the watches, the swatches, the like wearing 5 watches and a ton of bracelets, having an armload of bracelets, the bracelets that wrapped around, the bracelets that were connected together. I was all about bangle bracelets. And I had these 5 original ones from when I was little. And it was kind of this quirky, special memory. I'd gotten them at this little store on this little trip up in the middle of nowhere in Moosehead Lake. Anyway, and I do polish them. These are 2 of the bracelets. And if you can see, like, I don't know if you can see like the detail. It's like this little hammered pattern. I think they're brass. I don't know. I've never had them tested. They do get tarnished, and then I take a silver cloth and polish them, and it cleans them right up. But they look just like they did when I got them. Once I polish them, they look brand new again. They've never faded, never tarnished. I'm going to assume they're brass. I don't know. Anyone who knows anything, is this is what they sound like together. But they're not like a gold tone because they've never like tarnished like off color that it couldn't be fixed. They get them right back to their original. They've been mistaken for gold just when they're on my arm because they do have that look of just like a 14 karat gold. But I wear them a lot. You've probably seen them in my videos. They are on my list. They were 20 cents a piece. I just got this necklace at a thrift store this weekend. It is gold tone. It is tarnished. It's a double necklace on one, and it's got a little lock and a little heart. It does not have like a key to it. The key thing is not real, but it's a little lock and a little heart. And I paid $20 for this secondhand at a thrift store over the weekend, but I love it. I love longer necklaces. I wear a lot of solid colored shirts, and a lot of like boat neck, ballet neck. So I love a gold necklace. Better if it's longer, I can stack them, or it comes as a stacked set. So I bought this, and then I always love these. I wore these to my mother's funeral. I will wear these to any event in my future. Pretty sure I wore them to both my daughter's graduations, high school, college, and my youngest daughter's high school graduation. I wear them to everything. So I wear a lot of gold. So I just wear these with gold and my gold rings and stuff. And I've got a ton of necklaces that I stack, but these have been with me forever, and they're only 20 cents. They were only 20 cents a piece. I would love to know more about them. I would love to find more of them. I look every time I go into a thrift store or a Goodwill or anything and look at the jewelry section. I always look to see if there are any of these bracelets. I know they were sold in the state of Maine. I live in Maine. I'm assuming that people had these, got rid of these. I look at yard sales, I look at thrift stores, I've looked online, I've looked on eBay. I've never been able to find any more of these. I would buy every single one that I saw. I love these. And they are on my list of things I would save in a fire, because I've never been able to find them again. And so for me, they're like this one-of-a-kind thing that I have, and I don't know anyone else that has them, and I've never been able to find them. So I absolutely love them, and that's all. I just wanted to come on here and just talk about them. I had one. I wear it all the time. You've probably seen it in the videos. And then I found a second one this morning in a box. I was cleaning out an old drawer. I had a box of old necklaces, and it had one of these, and it was very tarnished, and I cleaned it up, but I did not remember getting that one from the house. So when I got divorced, a lot of my stuff is in the original house still, because we're moving back. It's complicated. So some of my stuff is here in the apartment, and some of it is at the house, and I knew I had 3 of these left, because I've lost 2 over the years. I think like a lot of that 80s, like, can I wear your bracelet to the mall? Can I wear your earrings? And they were 20 cents a piece, so I didn't really care. But somebody probably has 2 of these, or had 2 of these at some point, because I only have 3. But I only thought I had 1 at the apartment, and I actually have 3. I just can't find the 3rd one right now because I don't know what to do with it. Anyway. I love ADHD. I'm drinking my mushroom coffee though, so that'll help. I love you guys. Thank you for listening to Story Time. I hope you made it all the way to the end. I probably should have said at the beginning that I would love it if you could like the video and subscribe, but I didn't. So if you're still here and you don't, can you please? These videos are my therapy. I love talking to you guys. I am home alone all day, so I really do appreciate it. I love you guys. Thank you.